soul or anything?
But there's about 900 plus members here in Weakley County
that belong to their church.
And they're spread out. They're not just here, but they're up in your region too.
Yeah,
They're all over.
just,
They're everywhere.
Listen, they're just all crazy people. And listen, if you think that they belong to a cult, every religion is a cult too. If you look at things on paper, every single cult and crazy cult, like these suicide cults and these religious cults and these cults that go out there, and the Maharishi, Radha, whatever it was in Oregon, and all these people and these different things, and the Catholic religion, and the Protestant religion, and the Muslim religion, and the Islamic religion, and the Jewish religion, every single one of them's a cult. Everybody just has a different leader. And then everybody, the people that believe in my leader says, all you guys are nuts and wrong, and you should all die. No, my leader says you guys are all going to die, and you're going to go to hell. It's like, no, my leader says I should kill all you guys. No, my leader says, man, it's all a cult. It's all a cult, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll tell you right now, and I'll stand there, and there's nothing you can do to change my damn mind. We're just fucking animals like everything else. We got smart. I don't know how. I've heard a theory that it's got some pretty scientific facts behind it about monkeys eating psilocybin mushrooms that made their brain cells grow, that's how we ended up evolving into people. I don't know what I believe, man, but God, the Bible says it's 6,000 years old, and I've seen dinosaur bones. So we got some really conflicting stories going on around here.
Yes.
There is no God.
Hey, we got conflicting stories here in America that's been taught in our school system pertaining to Columbus discovering America, and we know darn good and well that it was the Vikings that was here hundreds of years before Columbus ever got here.
I'd be willing to go 1,000. I'd be willing to go 1,000 years before Columbus.
Probably.
They found Viking artifacts in fucking Arizona. Those sons of bitches made it from Minnesota to Arizona on foot. There's no river that goes there. They found a whole stash of Viking swords and all kinds of stuff in a weird cave in Arizona.
In Phoenix, Arizona?
Somewhere out in the desert, somewhere out there. You Google it or look it up. This guy was freaking out there somewhere, metal detecting, and found, like, from the 1200s, buried in a freaking cave. The patina, everything is perfect. It's like nobody's contesting this.
Wow.
They're like, where the hell did this come from?
Wow.
And the rune stones? I mean, that shit's real. It
exists. The Mississippi River over here got so low one year that they actually discovered an old ship that had sunk in the Mississippi.
Oh, really?
And they got to looking, and they figured out that it possibly had tidings to the Spanish cuisine whenever they done what they done.
So they managed to get their asses all the way up the Mississippi that far. That's a long way to get up in one of them big old ships. Yeah, they hit the road too. Now, the wind ain't gonna help you get up.
I'm actually amazed at what those men done and what they went through just to be able to spread their regime. They was the ones that basically took over Rome.
Yeah. Well, just anything in history is crazy. Like, okay, just go to Lewis and Clark. Those guys thought it was a good job to walk to the other side of America.
Right.
They're like, hey, we'll do that shit. Man, I have a heart. I'll tell you, try to go with me to the other side of this field over here and get to the road over there. It's a hell of a walk, and to get to just that one tree line. And when they went, there was none of these fields. It was all trees. That was crazy. And they're just like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll draw maps along the way and name all this stuff.
Do you know any of the history around here?
Kind of, sort of, maybe. I read every single one of them signs that I find and take pictures. I've been taking.
So you know that Davy Crockett used to live here?
Oh, yes, absolutely. No,
and he had a cabin over here at Rutherford?
Well, no, I don't know where the location of his cabin.
There's a cabin over there where his mother lived in before she died. This was during the time that he wound up going down to Alamo and getting killed.
It's a historical site?
It's a historical site. Yeah, but Davy Crockett was here during the time that he was excavating. He excavated down towards Tiptonville. That was dry ground. But then in 1811 and 1812, there was a massive 9.3 earthquake in this area that created Reelfoot, and he had to go back and re-excavate the freaking ground over there. That basically everything turned into a big watershed. You know what I'm saying? Turned into a big lake.
I learned all about that at the Discovery Parks of America.
See this bottom right down here.
Earthquake simulator and a whole big thing.
This bottom right down here, less than about 2 miles from here, down by the Obion River. Mm-hmm. That used to be called the Davy Crockett Bottom, and they used to have all kinds of promotions about Davy Crockett in this area. Sure did. And I kind of categorize Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone towards being right there together, in the same era.
Well,
they was the pioneers.
Yeah. Didn't they fight together in a battle in one fort?
No, they didn't ever fight. They didn't ever fight. Daniel Boone was friends with the Indians and stuff. You know, getting back
Until
to the
until-
sequoias up there in East Tennessee.
Until the point, didn't they kill us? I'm probably getting the two of them mixed up. One of them's whole family was killed by Indians at one point.
That was probably David Crockett because he was actually raised up over in the East Tennessee, North Carolina side in a place called Madison, the town of Madison, that still to this day still has banks and stuff by the name of Madison over there. But yeah, he was raised up in territories. He wasn't raised up in states.
Yeah, right. Yeah, before any of this was,
Territories.
Yeah, this was his wild land.
Yeah, but these people over here, man, believe it or not, I wound up.
I didn't even know I was back around there. That's back down this, go back down here and back over there. See, I go in these weird 1 mile grids, so I don't know where I'm at. I'm
Sure.
doing this shit all day long.
I understand. But within about a week after I found out that she had passed away, because I went to school with her and I knew her mother and her father. Her mother's still living. Her brother's lives over here in Kenton, Tennessee, which is less than about 8 miles away.
They normal people.
You know, I knew the whole family. The family knew me, so I thought out of sincerity that I would drive by there and offer my condolences. Did you know they almost pulled guns on me?
No.
I thought I was going to have to fight my way out of there, and I never did get out of the vehicle. If I got out of the vehicle, there'd have been trouble. There was probably about 8 or 10 of them over there, and I stopped to give my condolences, and one of them kept, you know, like he was reaching for a gun in the back of his belt, which I'm sure he probably was, but they kept saying, "You killed her! You killed her! You killed her!" And what they was blaming was the fact that their spirituality side is basically worshiping the dark forces, and they know that my spirituality side worships the risen, living Savior side. And if you know anything at all about the Bible, it talks about that in the last days he will sever the wicked from among the just, because the meek shall inherit the earth. So basically, I was taking on the brunt of the blow towards getting the blame for the witch over there dying, even though I didn't have a daggum thing to do with it.
Yeah, but I
You hear me? You hear what I'm saying?
From
I got the blame for it.
All right, check it out. From an outsider's point of view, I don't know either one of you. I'm from Illinois, nothing else. I'm looking
Sure.
at your place. I'm looking at his place. Your place is just as crazy as his place. Your place, I'm telling you right now.
I know.
This cross and all this shit. This is just as. When I didn't know you were sitting there. You probably heard me. I said, "Well, that's a lot of signs." This is just as crazy as his place.
Well, you see that stuff
I
out.
don't believe in anything. I'm looking at his place. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Look at your place. That's fucking weird.
Well, look over here on this over here. That's called the Purple Heart Memorial, and that's all.
I read that. That was the first thing I read.
And that's all in honor. That's all in honor of our military. For surely you ain't going to declassify that as just being crazy. That's all military stuff over there.
My grandfather and my father are certified heroes.
Patriots.
Certified heroes.
Yes.
Certified heroes. My father's a Delta Force Green Beret.
But this
My
right
grandfather
here.
was Tennessee Old National Guard, and he was in every 5 big battles in Europe and came out without a scratch. D-Day, the Battle of the Bulge.
Really?
Aragon Forest. Yes, sir. William Frittles, both of their names. They're the 2 baddest men that ever lived. My father has 113 confirmed knife kills.
Really?
In Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam.
Really?
The baddest son of a bitch that was ever.
Did you ever serve?
No, sir. No, sir. And boy, did I get. Okay, so when I was 15 years old, I got busted with 2 joints in my pocket. Got arrested. Had to pay like $500 to get out. That was it. It was Clinton era when I came time to join the military.
And it ruined your record.
And they said I couldn't.
It
join.
disqualified you
And
towards being able to get in the military.
How do you want to say that? Shunned,
Ridiculed.
Excommunicated.
Excommunicated,
Shunned. Get the fuck away
ridiculed.
from me, you fucking goddamn drug addict.
Yeah, over 2 joints. Like you was some sort of a drug maniac or something.
He got over it.
A drug
and
fiend.
I got over it, and it all ended up being good. But I was very disappointed because I was supposed to follow in line with those line of heroes. Because my great grandfather was a hero in World War I. We were all just, yeah.
Well, can I tell you something else real quick? I was actually part of a movement, of a rejection movement pertaining to the church society here in America, similar towards how the Jewish people rejected Jesus Christ and had him executed.
Well, any organizer, if you want to believe in God and you want to pray to God, that is absolutely your own business, and I feel that you should. Because the belief in God makes a lot of people's lives worth living, and whose lives aren't worth living, and it makes them feel good and great.
That's correct.
That's great. But organized religion, fuck yourself, man. You're a money
Hey,
stealing.
but listen to me. Listen to me. What I've been bumping heads with for the past 30-something years, because I was actually part of the nuclear arms agreement during Ronald Reagan's administration towards the falling of the Berlin Wall. towards ending the Cold War over in Russia. The only problem was that my own people turned against me, and not only did they not support me, but then they wanted to attack me towards finishing me off. Yes, those are those controlled, organized churches that we're talking about. And it's not just the Wiccans. It's not just the people down in New Orleans that practice Hinduism and Voodooism and everything else.
And the Protestants and the
Yes,
Baptists and the,
yes. My son, I got a son that's 43 years old right now, and he says the exact same thing that you just got through telling me. The exact same thing. But I'm telling you, whenever you move up to East Tennessee, you will be blessed. You will be blessed by the region. You will be blessed by the whole domain pertaining to how they are, the environment over there. Matter of fact, there's still streams over there that you can do silversmith, not silversmith, but silver, looking for silver and stuff over there.
We know all about it. We're trying to find a property that has one of those streams on it.
Are you gonna?
I have a lot of percent. It has to have one of those streams. It has to have a pond, and it has to have a cave. It has to be over 100 acres. It has to have 2 barns and a small cabin to start with. I'm having a hard time finding the perfect one, but I will find it. I will find it. The cave is the most essential part of everything.
It is.
Have cave, big cave.
So
Bigger the cave, the better the cave.
So if you have over 100 acres of cave in a river, you can basically go in there and do whatever that you want to do.
I'm going to disappear for the rest of my life. Nobody will. You may never see me again. I'll just be on my property. I'm going to make my living off my property. I'll get a couple animals. The animals will make more animals. I'll sell some cows. I'll sell some pigs. I can farm. I was also in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts from the time I was old enough to join whatever Tiger Scouts, whatever it was, then Cub Scouts, then Weebles, then Boy Scouts,
sure.
Through the Arrow of Light, all the way to an Eagle Scout. I went to survival camps. My dad was training me to be.
You was an Eagle Scout? Yes. That's way up the totem pole.
That's as high as you can go. My father was training me to be in the military my entire life. I went to survival camps in the summer.
And just because you got busted with 2 joints, that disqualified you.
It ruined. It didn't ruin the rest of my life because now I have a wife and a family and all these kids, but it changed the rest of my life.
It changed your concept towards how you feel about certain things,
didn't it? The original Desert Storm, and maybe I would have got killed. Maybe I wouldn't have got killed. Probably not. It was a pretty weak war as far as wars go.
Sure.
But anyway, so we went to
that's during that was during Bush's era.
Yeah.
Old Bush era.
Bush and Clinton.
Bush Senior era.
Yeah. So we built rope bridges across gorges and rappelled down mountains and shit. I was
sure.
When I was 12, 13, 14 years old, all the way up to the time when I was 18.
Wow.
And then it was great. I could say, you could give me a pocket, you could drop me off the pocket knife, and that's all I need. Give me a pocket knife, drop me out of a helicopter anywhere you want. I'm going to survive. I might not get out. I might not want to get out, but I'll survive out there. I'll be fine.
I got you. Well, you're talking to somebody. I may not look like it right now, but I've spent over a year in different intervals towards staying up at Land Between the Lakes. Have you ever heard of anything pertaining to LBL up in Kentucky?
I definitely know Land Between the Lakes. I've camped there 4 or 5 times, ridden all those trails. I got 4-wheelers and dirt bikes besides this thing. We've been
up towards Turkey Bay and stuff.
Lost a 4-wheeler off the side of a cliff in Turkey Bay. It's probably still sitting there to this day. About 280 yards down the side of the hill, and they wanted they wanted more to pull it back up.
You didn't even go down and get the parts?
It wasn't even worth it. We just said, fuck it, let's leave it there. It was junk.
So you've been to Wrangler's Campground and
I stayed in Wrangler's Campground.
Really?
Yes, sir. My cousin lives in Clarksville.
Okay.
And I live in Land Between the Lakes. Let's meet
sure.
back up in Kentucky and go camping
sure.
again. Get the kayaks.
Well, can I give you some advice about LBL?
Yeah, because I'll probably be back there again for sure.
Do not cross them people.
Oh, no, I'm pretty good everywhere I go. I can talk to you. I can talk to which guy down the street. I can talk to.
You're diversified, and I can tell you're diversified, and that's a good thing. But what I'm telling you, if you ever get,
I may hate a bunch of people, but I can still.
If you ever get them on your back to the point that I did, they will literally not only make your life miserable, but they will try to ruin your life. I was down in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, making over $2,000 a week, or give or take a roundabout. Whenever they wound up putting out 2 federal warrants for 2 telephone calls that was non-threatening in an apologetic form. Listen to me.
Sounds like you're bringing this shit on yourself. Why
listen
call
to me. Hey, I didn't break any type of violation as far as probation or no kind of judgment or anything, a court order or anything like that. But they wound up going all the way to Oklahoma, which is over 500 miles from here, grabbing me up, pulling me back to Trigg County, which is over in Cadiz, Kentucky, which is on the other side of the Tennessee River.
Was this some Jesus shit? It was.
Yes, it was.
It was. So now you ever stop and think?
Because I've got a sacred site up there pretty close to Sugar Bay off Legal Road 142 that, like I said, I spent over a year staying up there with those people, living in the woods like Jeremiah Johnson.
Well, that's the best way to live your life. I mean, if you're living in the woods,
But because I stayed so long, they got sweaty palms. They got nervous about me being up there. And the next thing you know, they wound up shutting down the Kentucky Dam in between Grand Rivers and Paducah, trying to accuse me of me being a homegrown terrorist, like I had planted some devices on the dam simply because I was trying to help the people and tell them that God had showed me that there was going to be electrical disturbances. This was in 2007. Well, sure enough, you know what happened in 2009? They got bell buckled up there with a major ice storm, 3.5, 4 inches of ice storm that the governor had to put out a state of emergency over 70-something counties. So, yeah, they had their electrical disturbances that I was trying to give them farewell warning or advisories about. Well, in the meantime, they shut down the Kentucky Dam. In the meantime, they try to promote me as me being somebody that's Looney Tunes. Well, it wasn't good enough. Listen to me.
I may have come to a new conclusion. You might be crazier than that guy down there. You might be crazier.
Listen to me. They took me to downtown Chicago over by the Loop in MCC and had me checked out by a doctor called Dana, for about 6 months to see if I had both my oars in the water. And I wound up coming back to the federal system there in Paducah, Kentucky, A+ on all of my grades that they had scored me on. 2 years to the date is whenever they wound up hitting me again, going all the way out to Oklahoma, grabbing me up, bringing me back to Kentucky. And that's whenever they requested for a state study to be done up in LaGrange, Kentucky. And that's whenever I had to take this medicine that caused obesity to hit upon to me.
It seems to me like you have had a shit ton of trials and tribulations placed upon you because you won't stop talking about Jesus.
Well, listen to this.
Hey, man, listen. Them people down there don't give a flying fuck about Jesus and don't give a shit what you say.
I know.
And the people that are like, hey man, they don't care. And when you keep trying to tell people that, like, hey man, shut the fuck up, we don't want to hear about Jesus, and you keep coming, and then they're gonna say, okay.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Where would the black race be right now if they didn't have an activist by the name of Martin Luther King that was willing to stick his neck out and do like I'm doing right now towards promoting his message? Where would the black race be right now in America? Come on.
Hopefully they'd be back in Africa.
Well, you got to take a little bit of risk sometimes.
Well, I'd get them all the fuck out of here because they don't do nothing but cause problems. I met a million. I live in Chicago. I've met a million black people in my life. 1 million. 10 to 12 of them are good people. The rest are scumbag, degenerate, motherfucking niggers that should die.
Now that's your opinion, and you got a right to your opinion. But I don't classify everybody towards them being bad people based upon their color.
No, I've met about 12 people.
Because I can show you right around here some of the most laziest, craziest people that are some of the most sorriest human beings in your entire life that is whiter than me and you are.
Nigger to me does not mean a black man. Look up the definition of nigger. It's stupid and ignorant. I know as many white
niggers. A low-life human being.
I know as many white niggers as I do black.
A low-life human being. And you also got Mexican niggers, you got Russian niggers.
You said you did. You know the low-rent fucking town that I come from, everybody is poor as shit. There is nothing there. I know the scummiest people in the fucking world to the richest people in the fucking world. Sure. It's all good. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. But I'm going to let you know that from an outsider's point of view, take some advice from somebody. You'll have less problems in your life. You just, hey man, pray to God. Keep your shit going, man. God, if you've got
stay isolated. You're saying stay isolated. Don't promote your message. Don't promote your message. Be like an ostrich. Dig a hole in the ground. Stick your head in it. I understand your advice.
No. Just stop with the Jesus shit. Live your life. Have a good time. Set a different goal besides trying to convert everybody into your Jesus stuff, because those people down there are never going to go.
Let me tell you one other thing pertaining to terrorism. Okay, my own people.
So you've got terrorist claims against you, man. This is because of this shit.
You've
got terrorist claims against you. That's bad shit, bro.
Yes, it is. But listen to me. It started right here in Weakley County in 2005 by the police academy up here in Martin, Tennessee, that charged me for falsifying files, which basically means somebody that has terrorist-type implications.
I'm on a watch list for standing here.
Terrorist-type implications. Okay? But anyways, I wound up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, investigating the Waco deal and the Oklahoma deal together. And you know what they done to me in 2009? They planted a bomb in the back end of my truck and activated it and blew the back end of my truck up and put me all over national news. The individual that you're talking to right now is probably a little bit more bolder than the people over there, but I don't classify myself as being crazier than them. But that's my opinion too. And I got a right to my opinion.
Everybody's got a right to their opinion. Everybody's got a right to their
But
opinion.
you've seen this broken cross? This broken cross don't represent nothing about the salvation of Christ. It represents the potential in behind what the cross stood for at the time, which was being practiced by the Roman Empire pertaining to punishing people that deserve that type of punishment. I believe that our system is broken here in America, is the reason why that my brother and I put this cross up here and also put the Star of David up here. And I ain't going to lie to you, this whole neighborhood went absolutely ballistic whenever I come out here at first. A matter of fact, they drove my brother off into a state of death, early death at the age of 51, because he couldn't take the pressures around here.
I'd be a little concerned if you moved in next to me too. I would. Just telling you, man. Like I said, we don't know each other. And I've never met you except for today. And I've talked to you longer now than I talked to that guy down there. And man, you seem like a pretty straightforward guy, and everything's cool, and you seem like you'd be a nice guy. If you just keep your religious beliefs to yourself and talk to everybody like they're your friend.
Well, you know, before we started talking about religion,
why can't you be friends with that dude down there that's got a tattoo of his
I would love to be friends with that dude. I would love to be friends with him.
You want to be that guy. You want him to be your friend, as in you want to teach him that he's going to go to hell, and you want to save him. Be his friend.
No. You know, it says in the Bible to try to get along with everybody, be peaceful with all people. Well, there's some people that you just can't be peaceful with, and I'm pretty sure you can validate that towards living up there pretty close to Chicago, over there pretty close to.
I live my life by my rule is not doing to others and all this other crap. My rule is I'm going to treat you with respect until you disrespect me.
That's
and if
right.
you disrespect me, I don't believe in him. May God have mercy on your soul, because I may kill you.
Well,
I have shot people. May God have mercy on your soul. You do not mess with my family.
So you don't go by the original teachings of Christ towards turning thy cheek and offering thy other, and loving thy enemy. What you go by,
eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth.
That's right. That's the Judaism religion. It goes back into the old Moses law, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Well, whenever Christ come,
I have a problem with the Jews. Jesus was a Jew.
Whenever Christ come, we're supposed to do away with that type of teaching. You know what I'm saying? And I love. Hey, I love these people. I love these people down here that's called the Wiccans, that's associated with that type of religion. I love them, but I don't love what they're involved in. In other words, we're supposed to love the sinner, but don't love the sin. You see what I'm saying? Right. But whenever I come back here, this whole neighborhood went freaking absolutely ape. You know what? Because I put up this cross and they knowed my background, because I've been preaching and teaching this now for over 30 plus years.
I would have a serious fucking problem if you moved in next to me and all my kids and everything, and all this shit was right here. I would have a big problem with it. I don't live by you, so I have no problem with it. I'm not here to judge you or anything, but I'm telling you, if you put this
even though I've never been harmful, even though I've never hurt nobody.
Listen, man. If you moved in next to me and I googled your name and it came up with all the shit that you've said, whether it's all lies or what, that shit came up on the internet about you, and you moved in next to me, buddy, I tell you what, it wouldn't be very long that you would not be living next to me in one way or the other. I would either drive you out, I would burn your shit down, I would get the terrorist shit and all that stuff, and then you put all this up, I'd be like, this motherfucker is 100% lunatic. He's probably gonna kill or steal my kids. He's gonna fucking blow a bomb up and kill the neighborhood. I'd be fucking my neighborhood.
See, your imagination is running wild.
Why is my man? You said terrorist shit. You had a bomb blow up in your pickup truck and all.
I didn't plant the bomb.
Yeah, but I know it doesn't matter. All this shit goes around you, and now this follows you around, and now you've moved by me, and this shit has followed you around for the last how many years, and now you've brought it to my neighborhood, and I got little kids here and shit. I'd be fucking.
So you'd be willing to burn me out? You'd be willing to destroy me?
When you were home, I'd hook up to your trailer and I'd drive that son of a bitch about 50 miles away and park it in the fucking woods, and then if you came back, then we'd...
And you think that would be legal to do that?
Oh, it's not legal to do that. We have heroin junkie dealers in our fucking neighborhood. We kicked their fucking front door, and at gunpoint, we made those people leave our neighborhood and not come back.
Okay, well, I don't do heroin. I don't do drugs.
I know. I'm just telling you, but that's we don't let our.
You're talking about people that's breaking the. You're talking about lawbreakers. You're talking about criminals that
bring a criminal element around them, and you seem to have a criminal element to follow. See, we're gonna get in an argument here, and you're gonna end up hating me and shit. But you told me all these things that you've got that have followed you around with this record, and you were in.
You got a smartphone?
You were in a mental asylum. You were fucking this, and you were that dude, and you're moving next to me, and then you popped all this shit up. These people, man, I can't believe them. Seriously, bro. I'm glad you got cameras on over here watching everything all the time, because these motherfuckers are going to fuck with you for sure. I mean, I don't live anywhere near here, and you'll probably never see me again. These poles I'm going to take pictures of, and I'll never be in this area again. But dude, you should seriously watch out, because I'm telling you what the normal average person would say and think that your record and this shit makes everybody assume that you are absolutely insane and you're a danger.
I understand. Let me ask you this.
Okay, I hope you do understand that. You probably don't usually think that way.
No, I respect you for your opinion.
Nobody else is going to talk to you straight like that. They're just going to scream me out and tell you you're a fucking idiot. You know,
you're absolutely
like I'm sure
correct.
they already have.
You're absolutely correct. But I need to ask you a question. Why are you out here taking the pictures and doing what you're doing?
I'm measuring all the poles and anywhere where the wire crosses over where anybody drives under it, because they're going to run another line out here. And
what
they want
kind
to
of
see
line?
A fiber optic internet line. How about that?
They've done run fiber optic.
No, that's WKT. This is Charter Spectrum. I work for the government, see? And that's, you're probably going, oh shit. I work for the government. I work for Charter Spectrum, so I'm not going to try to sell you anything. But if you were thinking about getting that fiber optic line, WKT, think about it this way, is Wilmington. Charter Spectrum is Chicago and Atlanta put together. So, just size-wise, so the infrastructure.
So they're bringing in competition on top of what they've already brought in here.
I don't know
See,
why.
I've lived here since 1967, and we ain't never had nothing out here. Nothing.
Here's why I'm here. The government said schools got shut down during COVID.
Right.
The kids in rural Tennessee couldn't even go to school on the internet.
That's
they
correct.
had no access to it. It's not like they couldn't afford it. It just isn't out there.
That's right.
So they said, "Do you get that fucking? We're not giving it to you, but there will be access to your house, every single person in rural Tennessee."
So they're going to bring in more optic line. Will it be dug under the ground?
No, sir. Those guys have fucked up everything. They've hit so much stuff that scared everybody away. Ours is going on the poles. That's why I'm taking pictures of poles. Those guys have hit 7 different gas lines down 89. They've tore out other wires. They're ripping up everything.
Really?
Everybody keeps asking, dude, you're not going to trench again, are you? I swear to God.
So how are you going to bring the optics? On the power poles?
Yes, sir. They're just going to run around a full bucket truck. Like, them guys take a month to go down your road digging that thing. These guys will go through with pulleys, tack them on the pole, and run that wire down. You'll never see them again. It'll be up in one day, and it'll be 20 miles down the road.
Really?
Yep. It's just a matter of me getting all the pictures taken.
So when is your estimated time of when?
I swear, everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I say, "With this internet." They're like, "Internet? Yeah. When?"
So when?
I don't know.
3 months, 4 months, 6 months?
It could be as soon as 2 months from now, and it could be as long as a year.
Sure.
It depends on the starting point, because I'm doing like a third of Tennessee. And I've already got a lot of it done. It depends on where they're going to start running the wire. If they start in Union City, yours should be up and running in 2 months, 3 months.
I got you.
If they start down by Jackson or somewhere down there, it could be a lot longer.
I got you.
But it's not just going to be one crew of guys going around running the wire.
I understand.
Charter's got hundreds of bucket trucks.
Sure, I understand.
They're going to put it up quick and get it running.
Well, I like your little rig towards going around and doing what you're doing. Like I said, you're just kind of getting a better feel towards what the other crew in behind you is going to have to experience or see or go through. So you're kind of opening up the door for them.
When I'm at this pole, I take a picture of from this pole to the next pole as much as I can.
I got you.
And so if you went through my pictures and looked at all my stuff along the way, you could follow the damn route of where it goes all the way through Tennessee.
Wow.
And where I go, and at the same time stop and look back at 180 degrees of the
So
pole.
what kind of camera do you got? Nike? Or?
No, this is a Canon Rebel EOS, and it is a M50, one of these new crazy mirrorless cameras.
What is that? What is the? Can
Yes and no. I got this thing stuck in one mode, because if you change out of the mode, then my pictures don't go into the computer right.
I got you.
And I've lost so much work.
I got you.
So I taped that button to stop moving, and I changed my touch screen off. But
do you have a?
It's a pretty crazy.
Do you have a smartphone on you?
I do. The whole program for all this runs. That cell phone booster, my cell phone, my laptop, and this camera are all hooked together, and all these pictures go.
Get your phone. Where's your phone at?
It's over.
Get your phone real quick, and I'll give you my name. You can look me up. The only thing that I ask is that you don't believe everything that you read about me.
It's the internet, so I won't. But I'm going to take 90% of it for. Oh, my wife calling. What's your name?
Dennis.
Dennis.
James. Juby. Jubby. Jackson.
Dennis James.
All you got to do is Google my name,
sure
and it'll be page after page after page after page.
Well, Dennis, listen to what I said. Take it into consideration from somebody that's not related to you.
You're trying to prevent from me having a hardship out here in the area that I'm trying to live out my golden years. And I understand that, and I appreciate that.
Why wouldn't you want to live in peace, man?
Absolutely. I do want to live in peace. Absolutely.
Stop preaching to these people then. You leave your shit up, stop preaching to them. Just leave them alone. They think you're crazy and they don't want to talk to you. Don't go try to talk to them. Just leave them alone. Just live there, man. Make friends with somebody that doesn't know about all this shit in your background, and become friends with them before they find out about you, so they can meet you and know that you're a good person. And then maybe
but listen to me.
In your past.
You can't outrun the computer. You can't outrun the internet.
No, you cannot.
And once they get all that stuff in there on you, what are you going to do about it?
There's nothing you can do except stop fucking with them people.
I'm not messing with them people. The only reason why I stopped up there at the Castle People's House was because his wife died. The very person that I went to school with, I knew their family. They knew my family. I thought I would stop and give my condolences. And you know what I almost got? I almost got thrown in jail or got hurt.
You thought you were doing something nice, and they took it as a sign. Here comes this fucking motherfucker again. Get the fuck. You know, I was telling you that you've got.
They run me out of their presence.
Look, I hope I gave you an opinion and a vantage point that nobody has ever given you before.
You did.
Okay.
I already knew it.
So you take that to heart. If
I
you'd
already
like to
knew
live
it.
out the rest of your life in peace, man. I mean, how many years you got left to live? You've had a long life. You've done a lot of shit. Man, settle down. Take it easy for the rest of your life, man. If you've done all that shit for God, and you're the one that's right, and your God is the right God, and you're right, then you're fucking good with him, man. Look at the shit you went through for him. Chill. Stop preaching the shit to him. Maybe take the Jew thing down, even though it's not a Jew thing. But that right, you don't hillbillies, motherfucker. You put a Jew thing, look at freaking motherfuckers out.
Oh, they'll
put up the witches before they come up with some Jew shit.
Yeah, I know.
You know that shit.
They'll accept the Wiccans more 2-1 before they'll accept a Jewish star out here, the Star of David out here.
You're fucking right. They will, and you already know that they will, and you put it up to antagonize.
A matter of fact, if you look at the majority of the churches around here, the majority of them in the South, they don't have crosses. They got steeples. Well, you know what those steeples was supposed to be for? Bell house towers.
Yeah.
Bell house tower. They didn't have nothing to do with an actual serving of God pertaining to our salvation.
No.
A bell house tower.
Yeah.
Well, they had bell house towers back in Germany.
Yeah.
Back years ago that didn't have nothing to do with religious factors.
No, you sit up there and snipe a bunch of people from one law. Yeah, listen, man. Seriously, stop talking to all these people. Take the Jew star down. You leave your cross up. I mean, everybody around here seems to be pretty damn Christian. I don't think anybody's going to have too much of a problem with the cross. The blood probably freaks some people out and stuff, but just take the Jew star down and they'd probably make a lot of people a lot more tolerant if you got rid of the Jew star. I'm telling you that right there. My fucking crazy ass Catholic town I live in. And motherfuckers probably burn your house down if a cross is in your yard and shit for having a Jew star. They'd be like, what? We got Jews in town? Get these motherfuckers out.
Well,
here.
that's one reason why I left these trees standing here, because in the summertime, whenever the trees come out, you really can't see all this.
Well,
It's kind of disguised, you know what I'm saying? Unless you know the background about me towards me living here at 291 Thompson Road. But then whenever the fall comes and all the leaves goes away, guess what? Bingo, it's all back out there in the eyes again.
Just listen, Dennis. Just try to listen to what I said. If you want to have a nice rest of your life, just stop fighting with everybody. I know you're not fighting with them, but they're going to be fighting with you if you keep it up. Take the Jew star down. Stop talking to everybody about God and just be...
Get you a fishing pole.
That guy lives on the corner.
Get you a fishing pole. Listen to me. Enjoy yourself out there by Cherokee Forest, because it's one of the most loveliest places that you have ever adventured into your life.
You summed up the first couple words you said when I said that. It is God's country. If
It
you
is
ever
God's
stand somewhere
country.
and look off somewhere and go, damn, this is what they meant when they said God's country, standing on one of those mountains over there, looking over the Cherokee National Forest, that's where that saying should have been invented, right there, looking off one of those mountains. That's the best place in the world I could possibly be. Dennis, have a good life, my friend.
You too. What's your name?
I wish you peace.
What's your name?
John.
John?
John
Okay,
Turtle.
John. You good luck too in your endeavors.
Oh, I'm making it happen. I've been kicked in the teeth.
How long you been with the United States government?
This is my own company. Just started it. This has been 4 months now.
Cool
4
beans.
months. Yes, I've worked for the government before. I've been a DOD contractor. Worked on the Barksdale Nuclear Air Force Base down in Louisiana, and I've done a bunch of stuff.
I got you.
Mostly telecommunications, stuff like that.
I got you.
But my
So
main thing is I'm a teamster. I'm a pipeliner. I drive low boys with side booms and 19-foot wide valves.
I understand.
Through mountains and shit, and get winched up a mountain in a semi up down there in West Virginia.
I understand.
Crazy shit. Have a good life, Dennis.
hey, look me up, man.
I'm gonna.
Dennis James Juby, Jubby Jackson.
Oh, I'm not gonna forget.
Watch them snakes out there.
Oh yeah. Serpents around here. We got the same ones back home, but there's 10 times as many over here.
I hear you. Take care, man.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. He's going around taking pictures of telephone poles and doing an assessment, and then he's got this little rod thing that telescopes that he can put up into the air, give or take about 20 feet. It telescopes out, made out of aluminum, I'm sure, or some kind of a special made item, but he's getting pictures so that the crew in behind him will have some sort of an idea whenever they get out here with this other optic line towards identifying what they're going to be up against, towards whether or not they're going to have to come in here with chainsaws, or whether or not they can just get by out here with one of those lifts with a bucket. In other words, he's kind of opening up the pathway for the company that he's working for towards coming out here and bringing some more fiber optics, so that we have the opportunity of hooking up to this competition force in bringing internet out here into this area. He's originally from the Joliet, Illinois area, very familiar with Chicago. He was basically just telling me how he feels towards that. If I was his neighbor, he would be wanting to basically somehow or another physically either harm me or get me out of the area. He was being honest with me, and I appreciate people with their honesty. I appreciate people that can open up, and you know what, they call it like they call it, they're a straight shooter, and they give it to me like they see it. I appreciate people like him. And I don't necessarily agree with his ideology, but I do appreciate the fact that he opened up to me and he let me know how he feels in seeing what he sees out here on this porch, and he didn't hold back anything. So I do appreciate somebody with this type of honesty that's willing to open up that way. Anyways, that'll be it for today.